1 year ago, on October 25th, 2024, I turned in my final assignment for my Master's of Science in Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning from Colorado State University Global. Now, it's time for questions. I chose this program for a variety of reasons. One of the biggest reasons that I chose it was that it was one of the oldest ones, established in spring of 2020. The curriculum itself is as up to date as you can be in higher education, and I'll go over some of those details later on. I first heard about this program from an alumnus, which was great because previously I had been struggling on what I was going to get my master's in. Initially, I had wanted to do something in physics. My undergrad is in physics. It would be nice, but that's also extremely challenging to do remotely. I'd also thought about something data analytics or business intelligence focused. Most of the comparable programs I was looking at required a strong undergrad in computer science, which was not what I have. Further, as much as I would love to go into the technical details of artificial intelligence, and in fact I still do just for the sake of it being fun, my work is typically more focused on engineering management type of roles. I also chose this program because the price was reasonably fair. Granted, it was not entirely covered by my organization's tuition assistance, but it covered enough. The back-to-back 8-week half-semester program style course, that whole setup, it worked pretty well for me. One of the other things that I liked about this program was that I was able to transfer 2 of the courses from my previous data analytics certificate program into this master's program, which saved me an entire semester. As with any educational program, the quality of your professors and your classmates in the discussion posts, it's all going to vary. Some professors would give detailed feedback on assignments, others would say, you completed your assignment, great, or they would say, hey, you're missing this piece, and there's not much detail in any of it. I had classmates who would give detailed discussion posts, others who would give the shortest blurb possible, and still others who would generate their post pretty clearly in an LLM and then copy pasta that in there with no editing. And they got called out for plagiarism because, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Now, to be fair, if you are using generative AI to develop your thoughts more, there is a time and a place for that. It just matters in how you do it and making sure that you call it out correctly, particularly in an academic sense when you need to cite your sources. The amount of classmates who didn't even bother with half the work was wild. Looking at the grade distributions, there were quite a few people who clearly just didn't care, and that's obviously disappointing. But it also made it easier for me to get a 4.0 in my master's program, which is pretty nice. While I did learn some technical information, most of the coursework was focused on an engineering management type of perspective, which I like. I learned some specific engineering management things, some business ethics things, stuff about UML diagrams and software development processes that I previously was unaware of because of my physics background, not computer science background. I learned about search algorithms, bash scripting, lots about computer vision, a little bit about generative adversarial networks, lots of fun topics for my courses. And then I also had a few projects, including my rice grain orientation project, which is my favorite one. I also learned a little bit about license plate detection. So again, computer vision, and that's most of what I enjoy about artificial intelligence topics, so that was lots of fun. After I graduated, I did wind up getting into an engineering management type of position, and having that background was beneficial as I was leading technical experts in ways that I wouldn't have otherwise done. I keep my diploma on my desk, which is a great conversation starter when people come around and we're chatting, there's the little chats around the office. And if they don't already know that I have my master's in artificial intelligence and machine learning, they'll look at it and they'll be like, oh, that's interesting. And then it starts some conversations. Completing that master's also gives me a little bit more credibility in various artificial intelligence conversations, which is beneficial because people will actually listen to what I'm saying. Now, granted, the information is not necessarily much different than it would have been if I had gone out and done everything on my own, but people listen to it more because they know that there's a full degree backing it up. This program is great if you need formal education to be recognized as an expert in your field or to progress your career. It's also great if you know exactly what you want and this matches your needs, and it's also good if you have a solid math and programming background, or at least good enough. I have a decent amount of mathematics background and some level of programming experience, just not the rigor of a computer science background. However, while this program is good for that group of people, if you don't know what you want to do, don't do this. You're just going to be wasting your time and your money. If you're just looking at artificial intelligence as a broad thing that, hey, it's cool, it's the new ooh la la. Yeah, no, don't do this one. You need to actually care about this if you're going to spend your money on it. If you're not ready to put in the work, it's just not going to be worth it for you. Also, if you haven't already done some level of projects with various artificial intelligence programs outside of the general LLM world that is very low barrier to entry now, if you haven't done that, I wouldn't recommend going into this because you need that background first before you get into the academic details of how the technical pieces work and the proper engineering management backgrounds. It's a great program. My undergrad alma mater, unfortunately, did not have anything available for remote learning at the time that I applied, so this is the route that I went. It's a great program. Go if you know you want a master's and if this one fits what you need. But if you're just trying to figure out what you want, this isn't for you. To the stars!